Well, hello, hello. This is Karin Zoe Lee, and you're listening to Lotus Moon Productions. Welcome to LMP Music. Whatever the music, whatever the tune, we're here to learn, discuss, and promote the independent music scene. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the next 45 minutes as Shugo Hanasaki tackles the music industry one artist at a time.
Welcome back to the music side of Lotus Moon Productions. I can't believe it's already March. It feels like yesterday that I was announcing the arrival of February, and now spring is less than 3 weeks away. Congratulations, we made it through another winter. Getting back to our guest of the hour, I am incredibly humbled and deeply honored to welcome today's guest. She's a German singer-songwriter, and she's been releasing music in the community for the past 10 years and has released singles such as We Are the Wild Ones, One of Us, My Mistake, and in the last few years has released albums such as Sleepwalking and Synthian, as well as recently releasing 2 EPs called Control and Back to Her Roots, The Beginning. With such an incredible synth-pop career, she's known by her Synthians and has earned the title the Queen of Synthwave. So without further ado, please help me welcome Nina to the podcast. How's it going today, my dear?
Hello, it's going really well. I'm so happy to be chatting to you.
Yeah, it's just like, as I said in the opening there, it's been an honor to be able to speak to you. I mean, I've had such incredible guests on, and it's been an honor to have all of them on. You know, I've had people like Griff and Karin Zoe Lee and Orion from Thought Beings and Michael Oakley and so many others that it's blowing my mind that I've been able to connect with so much of the synth fam because all of you have been incredible.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's also like I feel like we're great community and we're all kind of friends. And I know so much of them just by touring, and so it's just so nice to just connect with everyone and yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean it was pretty cool there to connect with Aztec Records there not too long ago and to help them promote LMP just a little bit more. So yeah, the synth fam has been incredible. When I first got in contact with Karin Zoe Lee, she told me how supportive the synth fam was, and she wasn't lying. She wasn't even underselling it. You guys have been incredible. It's just been, I've learned so much.
Yay! That's good. I'm glad to hear.
So before we dive into your music career, I would love to hear about an artist's inspirations and their creative process and how things work. Like, some people have heard or read recent interviews with you, but to those new to your career, I have to ask, growing up, who inspired you to get into music and why synthwave specifically? I read from your interview on Retropop that Depeche Mode, Talk Talk, Kim Wilde, and a few others inspired you, but were there others?
Oh gosh, there were so many. I mean, yeah, for sure. I also listened to Nena, so some like more kind of German new wave, and Alphaville, but also like OMD and just the usual suspects. And it's just so many. I think it's just brings me back to sweet memories, going on like long road trips with my parents off to the coast of Denmark, and just all those songs playing and me just looking out the window and dreaming and feeling the synth, just the synth pulsating. And it's just kind of like a love nod to my youth when I make this kind of music. It feels close to home.
Yeah, well, I mean, going off the coast of Denmark, that sounds absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. My grandparents had like some kind of place there by the camping site, and it was right by the beach. And I remember it being super windy always, but there were like sand dunes, and it was just very peaceful. And we went there every year up until I was maybe like, I don't know, maybe the last time I went there was maybe when I was like 9 or 10. So it was like pretty like my childhood. I was there pretty much all the time. It's lovely.
It's amazing about that type of age too, because you look back and you're like, those are some of the greatest memories that I have, and you never know when it's your last.
For sure, definitely. And I feel like it's a shame, but like I remember my mom always saying like, oh, just enjoy your time now, because one day you'll look back and you wish you were there again, and just enjoy your youth. And I couldn't wait to grow up. My thing was always like, I don't want to be a child anymore, I want to be an adult. So it's like, yeah. And now I'm like, I want to be a child again. So I'm making music that reminds me of being a child again. So there you go.
Yeah, it's an incredible feeling that synthwave, synthpop, or retrowave, dreamwave, whatever genre within the community you want to call it or lean towards. It's an incredible feeling that the music can give. Like even myself, I've dived into so many different synthwave artists, including yourself for sure. You were one of the first synthwave artists that I got into, and that feeling, that reminisce, that nostalgia feeling that you get. And so, and then even sometimes, like I've mentioned this before, like with the Midnight, for example, and we're all familiar with the Midnight.
Right, definitely. We love them.
Yeah, and they make me feel things that I've never experienced before. Like they make me feel like I've lived memories that I haven't lived before. And I'm like, how do you accomplish that? And other synthwave artists do that as well, right? So it's just an incredible genre. It really is, and it keeps evolving as the years go on.
Yeah, and I love that. That's the thing. It's because I feel like it's not just for people that kind of lived through the 80s. It's also for anyone who was born way after that. It just has that special kind of. I mean, let's face it, synthesizers are just very sexy. So it's just like such an incredible instrument and sound, and like it's just cool. And and the Midnight, for example, I love like the dreamy or Time Cop 1983. They just have that
Yes.
dreamy quality that just takes you to far away places. But then you have Gunship, who I really love as well, and they're just like give you that fierce feeling that you can take over the world. I mean, that's personally how I feel when I listen to Gunship. So it's just like you got a whole wide range of artists doing this kind of music, and it's just so cool to be part of it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and that's a good shout out to Gunship as well. Like, it can give you, it's like a scale of 0 to 100, or this audio spectrum of how synthwave can make you feel. You listen to
Yeah,
this and you're in nostalgia land, and then you listen to this and you're in space. You're in the future.
yeah,
You're taking over the world. You're living a sci-fi novel.
exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so it's absolutely incredible. Now, I mentioned Kim Wilde as being one of your inspirations as when you grew up, and "Kids in America" was one of the biggest songs of forever. So many people have covered it over the years, but I think on some level, and pardon me for being selfish, but could we ever get a cover of "Kids in America" from Nina? Because I think you'd absolutely smash it.
oh my God, like I absolutely adore this tune, and I adore Kim and her brother Ricky, of course, who I've been working with. And I mean, I would absolutely love to cover this tune. It's a big tune, and I'd be a little bit worried that I don't make it any justice. But I mean, I wouldn't say no, just to give it a try and see how I go, and see the reaction. But I adore this tune. It would be one of those things that I would probably have to still try and give it my own kind of twist. But yeah, I mean, I would probably send it to her and make sure that I get her approval. And
Yeah, for
maybe
sure.
I would give it out to the world if she said, you know what, Nina, let's do something else. And I was, all right then, fine. I just back down, back up. But yeah, I'd love to.
And instead of the kids in America, it could be the Synthians in America.
Oh my God, exactly. There you go.
Now we're thinking. Now see, now it'd be like Kim Wilde would be like the kids in America was the '80s. Now we're the Synthians. So I don't know.
It's like the modern, yeah, it's the modern kids in America. They're not the Synthians. Exactly. Yeah, totally cool.
Now, when it comes to creating music, what is your creative process? What motivates you on a daily basis? Do lyrics come first, or does a melody? And what things have inspired you, or what things do inspire you when creating music?
I mean, like in general, I always feel kind of very inspired by the love that I receive from the fans, on YouTube and wherever it is on my music, or when I play live, the positive feedback that kind of gets me going and motivates me and really, really inspires me. On a daily basis, I think it's just, I mean, how recently my creative process is, because obviously it's changed a little bit, not just because we're all in lockdown, but also because my team and everything, my surrounding has changed. I moved country, and I'm kind of just doing DIY at the moment, which has been quite different and scary, but also exciting. I had to learn a lot, and it's good, and I needed to do that. But recently it's been more like I kind of get sent like a basic beat, and I hum a melody to it, and some kind of words, random words, could be anything that don't make sense. But then I kind of go back and I make it into lyrics, and I think about what I want to say with the song, if it's a sad thing or something a bit more upbeat. something positive or something sad, and so it's just kind of like that's how it mostly just goes from there. It turns into a song, and then I kind of work with a producer or with whoever I co-write with, or collaborate with. Let's put these kind of drums in it, or let's make the synth sound a bit more dreamy or whatever it is, and really kind of go from there. But it really depends with who I work with. It's recently I've been collaborating with a lot of people. I've been working with Radio Wolf, who's amazing as well, who's been working with Parallels a lot, and we've been working on like a lot of songs, like about 20 in the lockdown, and it's very easy and organic to work with them, even though we're doing through Skype and everything. But we have we've kind of developed a workflow that works really well, and it's just exciting. It's really nice. I've been working with Ricky, of course, a lot as well. Ricky Wild, we're completely on fire. We like smashing it every day with another tune. It's just, it's super exciting, and always quite different, always quite different. Sometimes you sit in a room together with someone. For example, when I wrote I Noticed with Richard X, and that was just kind of, you sit in a room together and it's like, okay, well, let's just play some chords on the synth, and you hum something, and and then whatever comes out. And then luckily I Noticed came out, which is quite a nice song, I think. And it's always different.
That's incredible. And I mean, I have to say that your voice is one of the voices that have so much emotion behind it. Like, no matter what you put your voice into, it's just full of life, full of emotion. Like, and not a lot of artists have that much emotion and feeling within their voice when they sing lyrics. So that's an incredible gift to have.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I always try to like just feel it, and I have so much love to give, and there's of course sometimes I've heard that people said there's a lot of longing in your voice when you sing and things like that. And I guess I just touch to those moments in my life that were difficult to go through, and somehow, even without me noticing, I reach to those and take that as like an inspiration to kind of make it very an emotional performance, out of that, I guess.
So as we start to dive into your music career, my first question was, how does it feel to be named the Synthwave Queen by the community? I mean, I imagine the title is a true honor, but it also comes from years of dedication, years of passion, and a reminder of how much work you have put into your music.
Yeah, that's really well said. I mean, the first time I heard it, I don't remember where I saw it. I think maybe on YouTube or somewhere. I can't remember, but somebody started it, or maybe it was on Twitter, and then everyone kind of just followed suit. And it was the first time I saw it was like, oh, that's so sweet. And I was just laughing about it, and then it was just like, oh my God, there's more people saying it, and I felt completely honored. And I think there's so many incredible synthwave queens out there that we have, and I want to say we all queens, kings and queens, and but of course I feel very, very humbled and super happy that people give me this kind of title, and it's very sweet, and it kind of just validates all the hard work that I put into this, and it's nice. It's a really nice feeling. It's humbling.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're going to be going over your most recent releases over the past year, and what's fitting is we're going to start with the beginning.
Perfect.
Despite it just being released, this EP captures your early work from 2013 to 2015 with such tracks Dark Rider, My Mistake, and We Are the Wild Ones. And while available digitally, finally brings the long-awaited vinyl release of those incredible tracks. And if that wasn't enough for Synthians, it also includes a reimagined version of your Heart of Glass cover by Blondie, featuring and produced by Aztec Records' very own Lao, that was released in 2015.
Yeah, that's I think it was about time that we release it, because we've kind of sold out on those two EPs for a long time ago. And people were just constantly asking, can you make more CDs of those, or vinyl even? And, we want to buy it. And I think we were just focusing on Sleepwalking at that time, and of course Synthian then later. And but I feel like it was just the right time now to give it to everyone. And it's been, selling really well, which is great. And yeah, it was just about time that we do that and have like a collection of all the first EPs, you know. So yeah, it was actually nice that we did that. I'm very happy with it.
For sure. Now, fun fact for all the listeners out there, and we spoke about this off air. "Heart of Glass" was one of the first tracks I ever heard from you a few years ago, the older version. And I mean, you absolutely knocked both versions out of the park. And I mean, I love the beginning, I love the version on the beginning. It's absolutely fantastic. And we have a 45-second preview to share of Heart of Glass to share with the audience. And then I'd love to learn why you chose it back in 2013, your love for Blondie, and what inspired you to rearrange it once again. Would that be okay?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Perfect. All right. Here is a 45-second preview of Heart of Glass off of Nina's new release, The Beginning. Now, as mentioned before the preview, what inspired you to cover that legendary track by Blondie? I mean, you absolutely smashed it, as I said before, on both versions, and I would love to hear how Blondie inspired you and why you chose that track in particular.
I mean, I grew up listening to Blondie. I That's actually my favorite Blondie song. And just to tell you a bit about the backstory why we chose this to cover this song. I mean, first of all, of course, it's my favorite Blondie song. But we were on a road trip. Me and Lau were on a road trip, probably to a show, and the song came on the radio, and I sang along to it. And I remember Lau saying, "Oh, you sound so good singing it." You know, we were like, and we both looked at each other, and we were just like, should we cover it? So it was like one of those things, and we just kind of just did it, and we're like, okay, we really got to make this kind of our own and quite different from the original, and a little bit more kind of electronic, and let's give it some dynamic, you know, so we can play live as well. And it's been very popular at live shows because it's got, you know, kind of like a slow start, quite dreamy, and then it really goes into a bang when I start the synthesizer and the drums kick in, and it just like blows up kind of thing. And it's people really respond to it really well. And but yeah, that's a little bit about the backstory. And it's I'm just a huge Blondie fan, you know, and it was incredible to cover her song. It was really nice.
It's really interesting when a synthwave covers a song from the 80s or even the 90s because, you know, we have rock covers, we have pop covers, we have, you know, heavy metal covers. You know, it's just one thing that comes to mind is when, oh my goodness, that band that did the Smooth Criminal, the rock version of Smooth Criminal. I can't remember what it was by Michael. Yeah, way out in left field, right? You know, just completely different. But something is magical when a synthwave artist covers something from the 80s, because not only does it sound like it comes from that era, but it also gives an entirely unique twist on it, which is really cool because it's similar music, but at the same time, it makes it sound like it's completely fresh.
Yeah, exactly. And that's I feel like when people do that and when they achieve that, I think that's kind of makes it more special. And just, you know, make something different out of it, make it your own. And yeah, I think that's when people respond mostly to those covers.
For sure. Now, diving into your second full debut album that was released last June, you mentioned in an interview with Electricity Club that I highly suggest people go check out. You mentioned that you see Synthian as a bigger, bolder sister of your previous album, Sleepwalking, and that the album explores the depths of love, desire, spirituality, the duality of the human condition, unity versus isolation. And I loved that explanation, and I would love to expand on that if you could.
Of course, definitely. Yeah, I think it's just because Sleepwalking was obviously a little bit the first album, and it's a debut album, so that's always really, really special. And then we've done so much when Sleepwalking came out. I think must have been like 2 years later we did Synthian now, and we've achieved so much in those 2 years. And we've been on the road. We did 2 US tours. We even played in Canada, of course, and then Europe, and met so many people along the way. And just taking all that experience and inspiration and kind of writing new songs with all that, that's why I always feel like it's like the bigger sister of Sleepwalking. It's wiser and a little bit more experienced, and maybe also just a little bit more out there in terms of, where I said to Celine, look, I want to do something that could be a score for a movie like The Distance, like something epic, slow, emotional, but then I also want something that's a bit more detached from like an emotional song like The Wire, where it's a little bit more talking about digital and, I want to feel like a human being again, which is, I feel like that song is a little bit more like dark wave. So I sat down to him and I said, I want something a little bit darker, like, give me some dirty synth bass, and you know what it is. And so it's just, I feel like it has a little bit more color to it. And, with Runaway, for example, the song that Lau and I wrote with Ricky, it's a little bit more kind of electro pop, I'd say, or like synth pop or something, more in the realm of Robin, for example. And so yeah, it just has a lot of kind of it's got a wider journey, if you want to say so, if that makes sense. And I'm very proud of the record. I think we did a fantastic job. It was great to collaborate with everyone on it. Great teamwork with Lau, of course, again. We've done so much. We've come a long way. And so yeah, I'm very glad that we've been sending out on the vinyl and everything. And so yeah.
I love that so much, and I absolutely cherish how you mentioned that Synthian is a love note to your fans for being so incredibly supportive, that you gave your fans the nickname Synthians a while back, and mentioned you should write a song that was dedicated to them. I mean, that's absolutely beautiful, like the title track, Synthian.
Yeah, I really wanted to do, a song for them that's just theirs and that gives back everything they've been putting into, just supporting me and the love they've given me, and like something they can sing along to when we play live. And it's like an anthem, we all feel the energy. We're like Synthian, and actually that line, Synthian, da, 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 that's Cecilia came up with that, who is obviously so talented, we know. And I came up to him, I remember, before we wrote the song, and I said, look, I know now how I want to call my fans. I had random words before, random nicknames that just weren't quite right, and I knew it had to be something with synth, and I just came up with Synthian. It just came to me, Synthian, and I was like, that's it. And I wrote a WhatsApp to him, and I said, look, can we let's write a song and call it Synthian. That's gonna be the new name to my fans. And yeah, and literally I think it was the same day or the next day, was very quick. He just kind of like said, how about we do something like this, Synthian, da, da, da. So it was just kind of like an idea. And then last year, January, I finally went to his studio in Sweden, and we finished the song and we wrote the verse, and kind of just made it a whole song. And I think we had such an incredible energy, and yeah, it just the connection was there, and I really just thought of everyone that's given me all the support every time, and when I was singing it, and so yeah, I'm happy that you like it too.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I mean, the build in the song is absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorite tracks on the album, but I have to admit, my favorite track off the album is Automatic Call. And I mentioned to Lau how thankful I was for the both of you pouring such emotion into an incredible track and releasing it to the world. And I have to thank you personally as well. So thank you. I mean, I imagine with such deep lyrics, that song could not have been easy to write.
No, I mean, the song, it's very dear to me. I absolutely adore playing it live. It has such a great energy, and it's kind of like about an ex who just doesn't want to let go. And I think some of us have been there, maybe not, but that's what the song is about. So some people will be able to relate. But it's just kind of a fierce song, as in where I no longer need you because you weren't good to me. And Lau did a fantastic job writing a lot of the lyrics, and Ocelian doing this incredible beat, and it's just a great teamwork. And I'm glad you like the song a lot. That's great. Good to hear.
Yeah, yeah. I totally understand how it's about a breakup, and the video was very good as well. But I mean that song, the some of the words in it, it connected to me on a different level, not just a breakup of an ex.
Yeah.
So whenever I hear it, and it's on my MP3 player all the time, and
How
I
did
listen.
you relate to it? What did it mean to you, that song? Out of
It meant,
curiosity.
it meant to me as like a disconnect from family.
Interesting. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I won't dive too much into it because it's kind of personal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a disconnect from family, like from somebody who was just like we like in the song it speaks about, we don't want to make each other,
Yeah.
fools.
Yeah.
We don't want to be too hard on each other. And that that type of lyric really spoke to me, and I was just like, wow, and then the again, back to the emotion of your voice, back to how you put so much passion into how you sing. It was just like this, as you know, as an artist, when you listen to lyrics, they can be perceived in so many different ways. Even if the artist says, yeah, this song is this is what it means, there'll be a million other people who will be like, oh yeah, I perceive it, I can hear that, but I can also perceive it this way, so.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and also at the end of the day, family is relationships at the end of the day. So whether it's an ex, whether it's family, whether it's
Yeah.
an uncle, aunt, mom, a dad, it doesn't really matter. They're all relationships in the end, even business relationships or something. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's interesting how Automatic Call came off to me. But even though I understood what the song was about, seeing the video, seeing how it was a breakup and an impending breakup,
Mm.
I was able to perceive it and feel it in a different way, and
Mm.
it was rather therapeutic.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean, sorry you had some bad experience there, but I feel like that's kind of um, the beauty of songs when you feel like, and the writer might have written with an idea in their mind, but then you can just make it your own, or you can take that and, heal, take these words and heal from it by listening to it, and just, kind of relate to it in your own way.
Yeah, for sure. Now we've been talking about Automatic Call. We've been talking about how great it is. We've been talking about little verses about it. So let's share a 45-second track preview of that amazing track off of Synthian. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
All right. So for those who haven't heard it, without further ado, here is Automatic Call off of Nina's album Synthian. Now, before we dive into your EP entitled Control, I wanted to discuss your collaborations with Lau. She's notably contributed to a lot of your work and has performed with you on so many shows. We spoke on episode 13, and she had nothing but positive things to say about you and your guys' career. And what positive experiences have you taken away from working with the co-creator of Aztec Records?
Well, I mean, it's pretty impressive everything we've achieved. It's been like, let's say, I think we started in 2011, so maybe like 9 years we've been working together. And it's just so impressive, and I'm very proud of what we achieved. It's very good teamwork. Everyone had kind of their own, played their own role in this, had their own strength and whatever it is. And when somebody was weaker at the other thing, the other one would pick the other one up, and just make it a great collaboration. So yeah, I mean, she's obviously very, very talented. And early on, I was a little bit more timid and quite shy on stage. So you kind of pushed me a little bit, go to the front line and own it. And I'm very thankful for that. So yeah, it's just been kind of like essential, to kind of for both of us to get to where we are now. It's I wouldn't want to miss it. And I've learned a lot, and we've met so many people along the way, and we've grown as like individual artists as well. And now it's kind of like after all this time, sometimes people just kind of realize that they like different things. Like sometimes you grow up and you used to love olives and suddenly you don't like olives anymore, things like that. And this is a stupid example, but it's just kind of like where we figured out, look, she's South American, I'm coming from the cold north of Europe, and I'm really into dark melancholic songs. She likes the rhythmical happy thing, and that just kept being a little bit of an issue. It created a little bit of a thing. And I think it was good that we both just said, let's just part ways for now and focus on us as individuals, and do what we really love. And I think that's going to be a much happier thing for both of us, But I'm very proud of what we achieved, and she's doing really well with her thing, and I'm wishing her nothing but the best. And I'm sure it'll be very successful as well in her own right.
Yeah, when it comes to collaborating with music artists, you're able to collaborate. You're able to take the strengths of each other and put it into something special. But then eventually, I guess as they say, when the teacher becomes the student or the student becomes the teacher, kind of thing. So you take the positive, you take the negatives, you make something amazing, like what you guys have been making for the past few years, and then now you're able to take all of those skills, and you're able to go off on your own, and you're able to create magic on your own, or magic with new people, and that's amazing in itself. That
Exactly.
that positive creativity can be made and shared and evolved. It's amazing when it comes to collaborations.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, well said.
Now, while we're on the subject of collaborations, are there any synth artists out there that you haven't worked with that you would love to work with or would like to work with again? I mean, I know recently you worked with Essinger on that Night Call song, which turned out incredible. I mean, I've heard many different versions of Night Call, but you and Essinger just smashed it.
Oh, yay. I'm so glad you like it. That was it was actually really quick. Like, he works very fast, very professional, super nice guy. He approached me, said, look, I want to do this. And I've been playing with the thought of covering this classic, synthwave classic, of course. And I was always like, no, I'm not doing it. This is just like holy grail. No. But I listened to his beat, and I was just like, his instrumental, and I was like, well, it's just incredible the way he did it. Let me just have a go. And I just felt it. I was like, I felt connected to it, and I was like, actually, maybe I can make this work. And he loved it, and so we did it, and it's been so much more popular than I ever could have wished for. So I guess it's good that I decided to give it a go, and yeah, I love what we did with it. It's cool.
Now, is there any other artists out there that you would love to work with in the future?
Yeah, see, I already forgot that question, so.
Oh, I haven't, my dear. I'm very curious.
No, it's oh gosh, yeah, just the way my brain works. There's quite a few. I mean, oh God. There's just so many. I really would love to collaborate even with another female singer in the scene, because I don't think we've done that before. Like, let's say me and Dana, for example.
Yes.
And there's so many other ones, and I think that would be kind of cool, just because it's a bit more unexpected. But of course, doing a song with Gunship would be incredible. I know that fans have been asking desperately for me and Ollie to collaborate on something. And, we're sharing the stage in December, which I'm just so incredibly excited about. And he's a great friend of mine now. And he's obviously a fantastic singer, entertainer. And I would love to make that happen as well. When we're both a bit less busy, perhaps we can write a song together. But I'm sure that will happen soon as well.
Well, I think if you and Ollie or you and Dana made a song together, I think you'd melt the synth community down.
Yeah, exactly.
Ollie
That
Ride
happens.
he's an incredible artist. Like Essinger, Ollie Ride, these are some of the
Yeah.
people who I would love to connect with over time. They're amazing artists. Like, as we mentioned, Time Cop before as well. And I did have the pleasure of speaking to Dana before as well, and speaking to her was amazing. Me and Karen Zoe Lee, we spoke to her, and we learned a lot
Yeah.
about Dana Jean Phoenix and how she collaborated with Power Nerd. And I mean, it's funny getting back to that cover that I mentioned before of Synthians in America kind of thing. I don't know why, but I have this idea in my head that you and Dana Jean Phoenix could do Synthians in America, put out this amazing video. I have no idea why, but I can see it in my head. Like, I'm no director, I'm no writer, but
Yeah.
it's just sitting there in my head waiting to happen. I mean, I don't know if it'll happen, but if you and Dana ever did a song together or even a cover together, again, I think you just blow the synthwave community away.
Oh, I'd love that. I really did. We actually been Skyping before, and she's done, and we played shows together, and she's such a kind person and really down to earth, and I love that. It's just nice to collaborate with people that are on the same, riding the same wave as you, basically. And she really is just so sweet and so extremely talented. And yeah, so maybe we should talk about this.
Maybe. No, not
I'll
to
tell her that you
hint
suggested that.
I'm not. I swear it's not peer pressure.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Not at all. So getting back to your music, the third and final track I wanted to focus on in our interview was the self-titled track from your Control EP, Control, which was released back in December. It's my favorite track on the album, and I'd love to hear about the background behind the EP and the track itself after sharing a preview of it with the audience. How does that sound?
Perfect. Go ahead.
Sweet. All right, here's a 45-second preview of Control by Nina off the new EP, Control. Now, could you tell me how Control came together as a whole? I mean, tracks that stand out to me were Nightfall, Forever, and of course, Control. But I want to give the whole EP the love it deserves.
Control was actually something. So we heard that Lakeshore Records were doing like a Drive remix album. And I think they already did. I think they already invited Wave Shaper on it. And we were like, oh my God, that's so cool. We got to get on it. Let's because we're obviously huge fans of Drive, of the movie Drive. And so we got in touch with Lakeshore and said, hey, can we do something? Can we get involved? And they're like, yeah, well, we could maybe, sure, we love Nina, maybe we can do a track. And obviously we take samples from the Cliff Martinez scores, and they send us a few that we can maybe choose, or we pick one from them and just make it into a song, an original song. And actually we loved all five, and we couldn't decide, so we just sent them all five and said, look, let us know which one you like best. And they were, we love them all. And basically we just decided all together, let's just make a Nina record out of this. They're all so nice. Let's make a real Nina record out of this. So that's kind of how it came about. It was just like, just getting in touch with Lakeshore Records, and they've been so nice and really down with the idea. And I'm glad that we made it happen. It was great to, write the tracks with Synthian, of course, and then Nightfall we did with Sunglasses Kid again, who is so cool, and he did Your Memory with us. And so yeah, it was just an incredible experience. And I really love the energy of the Control EP, and it was nice to I felt very connected to it, because the records are very much about kind of driving in the night and kind of being consumed by hate sometimes, or you just kind of you're taking over the night and you do what's right, you fight for what's right, kind of thing, taking risks, that kind of thing. So I don't know, I just felt very connected to it.
For sure, and I love all those descriptions of it, and that's incredible that they loved all five tracks. I mean, how could they not? Yeah. I mean, not to sit here and sound biased, but I mean, really, you said somebody 5 tracks. It's just like, wow, all by Nina. So it's like,
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, it's so cool. I'm so happy about it. And they I think we all felt very inspired. Lau, me, and then Celian and Sunglass Kid. I think all of us we were just it was just a fast thing. We were all so on it because we loved it. And we felt so humbled by being given this opportunity to kind of work with Cliff Martinez' score, of Drive. And that it's just such a cool thing to be part of.
Absolutely. I mean, Drive is one of those big movies in the synthwave career. I mean, it kind of kick-started a lot of things. If
Yeah.
a lot of people would argue. So, now in the last few podcasts, I've been using the last 10 to 15 minutes to get to know my guests on a more personal level. I mean, with that being said, I'd love to hear about your passions or favorite things outside of music, and that could be anything. It could be favorite food, favorite TV shows, movies, recreational activities, absolutely anything that you're interested in that you'd love to share with the audience.
I am definitely obsessed with 80s horror movies. That's totally my thing. Um, I love The Fog, The Thing, and whatever there is. So obsessed with it. So my ideal night to chill would be just watching horror movies and eating popcorn or something like that. My favorite, more modern horror movie would be El Orfanato, if I pronounce this correct. It's a Spanish movie, and it's like it just freaks the hell out of me, but it's so beautiful at the same time. So anyone who hasn't watched it should definitely watch it. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, I'm obsessed with cat videos on Instagram. Late in the night, all I do is just watch cats play around.
That's adorable. That's absolutely adorable.
I'm just, yeah, this is like my new favorite thing to do. I'm also kind of obsessed with the shovel dance. I'm like, keep people posting dancing to this shovel dance type, and I'm like, how do they do it, and why does it look so amazing, and why can I not do that myself yet? So
I have to get my boyfriend to teach you.
Yeah. I'm really obsessed with it. I'm sure I can do it at some point, but I think it just looks so cool. I showed it to my mom the other day, and she was like, "Oh my God, that looks so much fun. They look like they have so much fun dancing." And I'm like, "I know, let's try it," but she didn't want to do it, so.
Well, now we just need to combine drum and bass and synthwave music.
Yeah.
Have
Shuffle dance.
It did shuffle dance. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of, apart from that, food, I'm obsessed with Italian food. I've always been. I love pasta. I love bruschetta and pizza and burrata, mozzarella. I mean, this is the thing that I'm obsessed with, as well as chocolate every day, every night, all the time, every second of my life.
I had some delicious strawberry chocolate last night. I love strawberry chocolate.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I love that. Melted chocolate and strawberry, great. You're kind of doing something good because you're having fruit and then you have a bit of chocolate on it. So it can't be as bad as just having chocolate, surely.
Surely. It's like,
surely.
Yeah, I'm eating healthy tonight. Oh, what you having? Oh, strawberry chocolate. Not strawberries dipped in chocolate, just complete strawberry chocolate. It's healthy.
It's healthy. It's got strawberry in it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I love it. Shout out to your 80s movies too. I've heard quite a few of them, and I know the Midnight has been having. I think it's Tim. Tim's been having his Twitch streams with horror movies and stuff like that on Friday nights. For the Midnight community on Twitch. So I'm not sure if you know about that, but you might want to jump on the bandwagon there and enjoy it.
I don't really know what Twitch is yet. I have no idea what TikTok and Twitch and all these things are. I mean, I'm using social media very well on some platforms, but I don't know what all this thing is about. Twitch. What's Twitch exactly?
Well, you're probably better off not being on TikTok.
Okay, there you go. So I've recently signed up to Discord, so this was a big thing. I'm still struggling to use it every day. I'm going in there maybe once a week. So it's nice because I wanted something where all my synthwavers or Synthians can basically connect and talk amongst each other. And so that's why I did it. And sometimes I go in and say a quick hello or something. So that was kind of it took me months to realize, is it really worth me signing up to Discord? What is it? What is it about? Anyway, so but the Twitch thing, it keeps popping up, and if they're using it, the Midnight, then it must be good.
Yeah, it's very good for streaming. A lot of video gamers use it to stream, and a lot of people can watch videos over it or even hold concerts on it. So It's quite the streaming service that the people all around the world can tune into. I know there's other apps out there and social media things that can do that as well, but Twitch has seemed to skyrocket over the last few years, and it's become quite popular. I mean, I barely know how to use the thing because, I feel like an old man at times when it comes to technology nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
And I totally feel you when it comes to Discord. Like, I only joined Discord for a couple of server things, and then when you came up with your Discord, I was like, oh yeah, this is totally cool. But Discord is so foreign to me. Like, I have no
Yeah,
idea half the
it's
time what
very
I'm doing.
bizarre. I have to give a shout out to my amazing, incredible Synthian Eric Micah, who is helping me with Discord, and he's kind of like, because I was like, look, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me out? And he was like, of course. He's just like, kind of took over and made sure everyone is behaving on there and everyone knows what's going on, and he's been amazing. And so yeah, thank you, Eric, if you're listening to this.
And thank you, Eric, as well. I've spoken to him a few times on your Discord, and he is very nice. So thank you
Ah.
as well, Eric, for setting up or keeping the Discord server in good shape, as we should as we say.
Exactly. Yeah, he's incredible. He's such a nice guy, so generous, and he's supporting so many people in the scene, especially now that we obviously hit a big dry patch, with the pandemic and everything. And he's been really, I mean, there's so many that have been helping. He's definitely one of the biggest supporters, I'd say, and very generous guy. And so yeah, massive thanks to Eric.
Now, before we end things, what's on the horizon for Nina in 2021? I mean, it's still early within the year. It's only March. We have 9 months to go until the new year, until 2022 gets here, and I can't even believe it's already March already. But can fans expect more music, live streams on YouTube, or perhaps more music videos? I'm sure Synthians are itching to know what's next for the Queen of Synthwave.
I still can't get tired of that title. So nice. Well, I am releasing hopefully my new single next month. So that's what I'm aiming for. Which is very exciting. I don't want to say too much about it. There will be, I've talked about it on my Patreon before, because they always hear everything first, and I've posted a snippet about the song as well. And so we'll talk more about this closer to the date, but it's the track is kind of done. It's going into mixing mastering now, and I'm very, very excited. It's slightly it's kind of like a grown-up Nina, but anyway, more to that soon. And another collaboration song will come out. I don't want to say too much about that, but it will be in May. So I think it will be quite a busy summer for me, because obviously live shows aren't really happening yet. So I think I'm just literally focusing on releasing, more music. But more I can't really say yet. I take it as it comes, but hopefully April, May, there will be Nina records coming your way.
Sweet. There's so much to look forward to. And you know what? You mentioned grown up Nina there, and that is a perfect segue into my final question of our interview, which is, what would you say to your younger self, knowing what you know now, and to others trying to become an artist?
Well, I mean, to myself, I would say keep at it, never stop, because there were moments where I was not sure if I, hit the right path. Work harder and don't get distracted by things that aren't supporting you or pushing you, or people that don't push you and actually put you down. Maybe put those aside and focus on yourself. But I think also to people that want to start off or something, it's really just don't give up, keep at it. And even sometimes it takes 10, 20 years. It doesn't matter. But if you keep at it, don't lose focus, you will be successful in some way or another, and it's just find your motivation, find something that you find inspiring or motivated, and it's okay not to be okay sometimes. Take that as an inspiration to write or dig deep into your lyrics, and I think it's important to write personal lyrics. I mean, for me anyway, I think if it comes from the heart, people will be able to connect to it, and it will be more sincere, and that's really why we're here.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing, and I mean I always wonder that now, like even being 31 myself, if I were to look back at me being 15, it's like what would I say to
Mhm,
my 15-year-old self? Starting going, the teenagehood, the depression, all that stuff kicks in. You're
mhm,
like you have
mhm.
no idea what's going to happen in 15 years time.
Yeah.
So it's amazing just to have that reflection to look back, and I absolutely love your answer. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Of course. Thank you.
And with that, we will wrap things up. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, Nina. It was an absolute honor to speak to you.
Oh, thank you so much for talking to me and having me on the show, on the podcast, and anytime again.
Absolutely. But maybe later on in the year we can do a part two and catch up where how the whole year has gone.
Definitely. I'd love to, for sure.
Now, could you share your social media with everyone so newcomers where to know where to purchase your music, and as well tell everybody about your Patreon.
Yeah, so my social media is I love music. I love Nina music actually. I love music. I love Nina music everywhere except for Instagram is Nina Sound UK, and of course I'm on Bandcamp and everywhere else. You can find me on Bandcamp. It's Nina Sound UK as well, I believe. Patreon is I love Nina music as well, and Patreon is just an incredible platform. It's it gives me an opportunity to just continue making music and get better in the studio, get better equipment. It gives an insight to the fans, get to know Nina more privately. You get free Nina t-shirt if you sign up and stay with me for a while. And I do live chats with videos, so we get to know each other. And you get, of course, my songs for free, and you get VIP treatments and live shows. So there's just so much you get. There's different tiers, so it's whoever feels like whatever's right for anyone. But I'm very grateful for Patreon. It's really helped me through this pandemic, to be honest, and hopefully it'll just keep growing. And anyone who's part of my Patreon, thanks so much for your support.
I'm so glad you shared that, and yeah, I'm so happy it's helped you too because yeah, over the past year it's been so difficult, and I can't even put into words how difficult it has
Yeah.
been on the music industry. So I'm really happy to hear that Patreon's been helping you. I'm happy to hear that you've been releasing stuff. So yeah, once again, thank you for coming on and thank you for sharing everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And as usual, you can find all of our socials at SoundCloud under Lotus Moon Productions, Facebook under Lotus Moon Productions, Instagram under Lotus M Productions, Spotify under LMP Music, Twitter under Lotus Moon Prod, and you can search us on YouTube under Lotus Moon Productions. Be sure to get that subscriber count to 100 so we can have an official URL because YouTube is just a magical place that needs viewership.
Damn right.
So with that, this has been LMP Music. Please be kind to one another, be safe, and with that, we are signing off.